Hey guys, well, that being my second Ronde van Vlaanderen, was a lot different than the first, that's for sure. Last year the sun was out and it was dry, and I knew that it wasn't typical Belgian weather, and so in the back of my mind I was like, you know what, I'd like to do this with real Belgian weather, which is cold, windy, wet, and that's what I got this year. So completely changes everything, and it's definitely the toughest 7 hours I've ever spent on a bike. That is for dang sure. The cobbles are ferocious, especially when they're wet. People are sliding around, and I think this year they added more cobble sections that just kill you, just destroy you. And I'm on a bike that's all aluminum, and no carbon except the front fork, which dampens the shock. And on the same course, they have special routes for the mountain bikes, and mountain bikes go on the same cobblestones because they're more suited for cobblestones. So it's basically riding on an all aluminum bike is basically like jumping on a jackhammer for 7 hours. These aren't just like, they're not just like bricks that someone has in their driveway in the United States. They're like big, massive chunks of rock with with holes between them, that when your bike tire hits them, your tire weight swings one way or the other, and they just wear you out. I didn't dress for the weather either. Stupid me, I didn't bring any wet weather clothes, and so I had to make a pit stop and buy some rain gear. He didn't take MasterCard, so I had to take my bike around the city till I found an ATM. Anyways, basically kilometer marker 100 to 130 out of 160. About from 100 to 130, I basically had to keep talking to myself to keep myself in it, because all I wanted to do was quit and take a nap, because I was hungry, cold, numb. It was just bad. Yeah, so those 30 kilometers were real tough. So yeah, I had to talk myself through it, and yeah, I finished it. It was good. It was great. Other than crossing the line, the highlight of the day today would have been, I don't know. there's a lot of lows. The highlight was this one Belgian guy. He came up to me, this was early on, and he asked me if I was a professional rider. And I said, no. And he's like, well, you look like it. Well, coming from a Belgian, that made me feel, that was a huge compliment. If he would have saw me between kilometers 100 to 130, he probably would have asked me the question. I don't think anyone was wondering at that point. But I guess I looked like I knew what I was doing. But definitely didn't have the legs today. Tour de Flanders, it stuck it to me today. Although there was only one climb that I didn't make it up. It was the Koppenberg, and the other climbs are pretty tough. Kapelmeer's tough, but it's mainly the most well known, I think, because it comes at the end of the race and such a critical point of the race. Toughest climb of the day by far, though, is the Koppenberg. It is just a man eater. It's like probably one of the only climbs in the world where you can see professional cyclists, grown men who are paid to ride bikes, walk their bike up a hill, and I did that today. It was just a mess. It was so steep, it's rough, it's muddy, it's chapeau. The only way to get up that climb is to be in the first group and just to have an enormous amount of power, and hats off to whoever can do it, because I haven't been able to do it yet. So yeah, other than that, cobble sections were killer today. It was one after another. Oh, the Oud Quermont is a climb with that was surprisingly more difficult. I didn't remember it from last year. I remember it being that tough. But it's basically, it's a pretty tough cobble to climb, and when you get to the top you think you're done, but you got a K or two of cobbles after it, and it just destroys you. So that was toughest section after the Koppenberg. Legs were cramping up for the last 4 hours, and I am just exhausted. Got back, actually the highlight of the day may have been going back and getting my hamburger with onions and mayo. When in Belgium, you gotta act like the Belgians. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a shower. Yeah, that was Tour of Flanders round 2. And whoever wins tomorrow is, hats off to you, because it was terrible.